The editorial board at the Wall Street Journal has never really been a huge fan of Donald Trump, but they've really just come out in the open with it in the last couple days because they posted an op-ed from the entire editorial board just a few days ago, calling on someone, anyone, any citizen resident of the United States, please, for the love of God, somebody sue Donald Trump over his tariffs. Because as they go on to argue in the editorial board's op-ed, he probably doesn't have the authority to do this, so, somebody else sue him for this. They said, quote, "The president invokes a law that doesn't give him the power to impose sweeping tariffs. Someone should sue." And of course, Donald Trump had declared an economic state of emergency using the 1977 International Emergency Economic Powers Act, the IEEPA. Definitely not an easy acronym to remember, but it does give the president broad economic authority, including the authority to regulate imports and exports. But it doesn't say he can put tariffs in place. But as the editorial board conveniently left out, it doesn't say that he doesn't have the authority to put tariffs in place, right? The editorial board then goes on to say that, look back at the 2022 Supreme Court case where, you had the EPA was making rules basically from the executive branch, and then the Supreme Court said you can't do that, and it's kind of the same thing. No, it's actually not the same thing. The Supreme Court came to that decision not because the EPA was overstepping their bounds, but because we have a very corporate Supreme Court that doesn't give a damn about the rule of law. That's why that happened. Let's not pretend for a second that the EPA was just overstepping their authority, trying to keep our drinking water and our air clean. That ain't what happened. So the rule of law means nothing to the conservative majority on this U.S. Supreme Court. And the editorial board knows that a lawsuit against Donald Trump for enacting these tariffs would fail. It would fail instantly. Do you know how I know that they know that? Because they're begging somebody else to file the lawsuit when they could very well, if they believed in the case, file it themselves. Nobody stopped to think about that, did you? Right? None of the articles that I've read about this have mentioned that. Wait a minute, if you think this is such an easy slam dunk lawsuit, you've put together your legal arguments, file it. You have standing just as much as anybody else does. So go ahead and do it if you think it's a good lawsuit, Wall Street Journal. The fact is, it's not. And that is unfortunate. I don't want the tariffs in place. I don't want to see the economic destruction of this country. Even though I do believe there's plenty of people that frickin' deserve it. But I still don't want to see it. I'm not there yet, probably. But he has the authority to do this. And if he doesn't explicitly have the authority to do it, as the Wall Street Journal is arguing, then he implicitly has it. And if he doesn't implicitly have it, then somebody is going to sue him, take it to the Supreme Court, and then they're going to give him the authority to do it. So why waste your time? Don't let them codify it. Don't file a lawsuit. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And again, if the Wall Street Journal thought that this was a winning legal argument, they would have been the ones to file the lawsuit instead of publishing an op-ed begging somebody else to do it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We got fresh content every day for you. And if you want to follow us across social media, make sure you check out all of the social links that we have posted in the description of this video.